Good morning. It's Monday. I might have been a minute late. I apologize. I'm trying to get things in order here. Goodness. Oh, how are you? Oh man, I'll tell you. I don't know. How do I put this? Yesterday was just crazy, and Saturday was crazy, and Friday was crazy. And my live streams, as you know, they were starting to go south. There was just not a whole lot that I could do. I wasn't able to change the thumbnail. I wasn't able to do chapters. I wasn't able to research topics in such a way that I could bring them to you in a way that I'd be comfortable. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. I just want to say, if you are watching one of those episodes from, I'd say Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or Friday, Saturday. Yeah. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm not like too sorry, but I am like, it was stressful. I had a stressful weekend. And you say, well, John, was that a good thing? Yes. John needs to stop talking about himself in the third person, because that's annoying. I need to have good weekends. Last year was terrible. This year we got things going on. We got people wanting to buy houses, and that's a good thing. Now it's a tough market. So, I mean, how do you want to do this today? I have a list of things to go over. We have plenty of topics. We don't have to worry about anything. Let's just, maybe we'll do like a preview of the show, of the things that are probably going to happen. One, we'll talk about our showing report. Like what did we do this week? What did we see this weekend? And it'll be abridged because I showed you guys yesterday. I mean, it was ridiculous. We'll talk about writing offers. We'll see how that goes. We'll talk about obviously a Google trend. I love the Google trends. Oh my gosh. We'll talk about luxury homes for sale in San Jose. We'll take a look at those. Pretty excited about that. And then we will go over some real estate articles. Now, one of them I know will be about millennials. But I don't like the labels of millennials or, minority groups buy this house the most. And I'm sick of it. I'm just so sick of it. Why can't we all just be people? And then we're going to have another article, and I think it's on, let me check. Let me just see, because I can do that. It's on luxury vinyl flooring now. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go across the entire internet and have a show where we're going to talk about Elon Musk and Twitter, luxury real estate, and then luxury vinyl flooring, all in the same show? I mean, you don't get that just anywhere. That's only here. That's only at the Deerwood Realty Livestream, streaming daily at 9 a.m. Central Time. What do you think about that? I'm thinking about putting together I need to do like YouTube shorts. I need to do more like advertising, just social media advertising. But I mean, to cut and splice and do all the things necessary to do that, it's almost like I need another person. Today, there will be a podcast. I've been telling you guys that I wanted to do a podcast all last week, and it just was going terribly. Now I've been penalized by the algorithm for not putting anything out, so my views are down, and I've been sufficiently punished. Plus, you know what? Finally today I have some time. And just on the short, look, I wrote 2 offers yesterday. Neither one of them are going to make decisions until Tuesday. So today is rest, relax, and get my stuff together. Now, I say that, but, there's a lot to do. I mean, I'm kind of intimidated by it. We're behind. We're behind. So anyway, I guess we should get into yesterday and then maybe talk about the day before some more. So yesterday, as you know, I think I mentioned I had to leave after the live stream was over. I had to show 2 houses yesterday. Now, what was interesting about that? Well, the first house was a second showing. And you say, John, in this market, are you really able to go do a second showing? Well, if you start early enough, yes. So like if a house comes to market on Friday, okay, you want to try to get in the house Friday night. Okay. Even if you don't ultimately like the home, you need to go and see it Friday. If you see it Friday and you say, you know, hey, what, I kind of like this house. It depends on the kind of person that you are as well. Don't kid yourself. But if you're like me, okay, you like to ponder things, and your opinion can change in an instant. I mean, that's what's one of the more fascinating things that I found about, you know, the world and the media. And not as a complaint so much, but when somebody will dig something up that you said 10 years ago and then use that to punish you for today. Says, well, you're an inconsistent thinker, or that you're not, you know, I don't know, a flip flopper. It's weird. I have my own suspicions. My own suspicion is that if you can call someone inconsistent in their views, that's more devastating than just branding them a liar. And that's the only way I can explain it in politics. I mean, these politicians are lying to you. I mean, flat out lying. I don't care what kind of fact checking website you read. These people are disgusting. So they don't use the charge of you're just a liar. It must not be effective. What they can say is that your thinking is inconsistent, and that somehow, you know, that makes you a bad leader. For me, I can't even tell you, like Friday, so many things happened on Friday. I have no idea what I did. I can tell you today, my mind will construct a story of what I did Friday just so that I'm, you know, not freaked out, but I have no idea. No idea. If someone were to ask me like a year from now, what did you do? I have no idea. I don't have any idea. So anyway, when we see that, you know, I get it. But so I was showing a house because we had seen it Friday night. And actually we'd seen it Saturday. There was a question of, you know, if we looked at this house again, is it worth an offer based on the things that we now knew? Like, so what do you mean by that? Well, we ran comps on Saturday night. We, you know, took a closer look at the numbers. Did they make any sense? And I'm just going to put it out there. And in my opinion, it didn't make a whole lot of sense at the asking price. I know why the listing agent did. They're a very experienced agent. I know of their work. I know of the people they associate themselves with. This particular neighborhood, the homes were selling for $230,000 to $240,000 consistently for this type of home. Within the past month, there was a bidding war for a house that came on the market. It was a gorgeous house, completely updated, and it went for $40,000 more than the houses had gone previously. So what do you think the listing agent did on this new house that was coming to market that really wasn't very nice compared to the others, really was dated compared to the others? Well, they put it above even that price. Okay. So, you know, they did what they should do. I think I would have done the same thing. Now, the question becomes, in this market, how much do bidding wars that increase the sales prices of perhaps one home versus 7 or 8 change the actual value of a home, especially given that the home that is currently for sale is a dump? I mean, it's not even worth the $230,000 to $240,000 that they would have sold it for in the before the bidding war. I mean, that's just a question that I have. We used to use comparable sales, and it used to make so much sense. You know, if this house over here sold for this and this house over here sold for that, okay, well, then it's a pretty good idea that this house will sell for a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how the house is. Now, I have my buyer say, John, what is it going to take for me to buy this house? And my answer is, I have no idea. And why is that? Well, that's because of the escalation clause. What's the escalation clause? Well, you write a clause in the contract that says, oh, you agree to pay X amount over somebody else. So now all of a sudden we don't have any idea. I mean, if two people really want a house and they put an escalation clause and it's $100,000 over asking, then it's $100,000 over asking at the end of the day. Well, that blows everything out of the water. Now you say, well, John, then we should ban escalation clauses. No. We shouldn't, because there's other agents that are savvy and they say, we refuse to take an escalation clause. Our seller refuses to take one. So now you have to pick a price. Now in this market, you have to pick a price, and it's like, who knows? Who knows? You know, and then, so let's say, like, my own personal feeling is a particular house is worth, you know, 200,000 and they've got it listed for 250. Well, if they've got like 4 offers, my $200,000 asking price isn't going to work, or my offer price. But similarly, if there's 4 other offers and 3 of them are around asking price and one of them is $20,000 over, that house is they're going to win that one. But they did it because, you know, they're wasting basically 20 grand. They just don't know it. See how crazy that is? Anyway, so we go to this house and we look again, and we brought along the parents because, you know, there's something about the house hunt that is familial. Okay. I mean, even if you're single, you know, divorced, whatever, like, you have a family, and most of the time you still associate with your family. I mean, at least from what I've seen. I don't want to hurt anybody or anything if you don't have a family, but your friends can be your family. I mean, I have people that are single and or maybe divorced, and they bring their friends along with them to see houses, and I have no problem with that. I think that's great. As long as they don't bash me as being a terrible agent, or, you know, try to knife me behind my back, I don't care. So anyway, we had the family there, and we're looking at the house, and the day before there was no one at the house. This day everybody was at the house because, you know, it was Sunday and everybody was walking around, and I just don't know. I don't know. We wrote an offer, and, you know, if my buyer gets the house, great. And if they don't, then it wasn't meant to be. And you say, John, how can you do that? That's a killer way to do things. Like, that's going to kill your business. Look, like, I've gotten to the point where I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I'm comfortable with I'm comfortable with the way I do my business. Okay. And if you're not, that's fine. If you want to attack me and everything, that's fine. But I've seen too many offers that I've written. I mean, I've written thousands of offers at this point. And I just know that sometimes you're going to get the house and sometimes you aren't. And it doesn't really matter even what you offer, in a weird way. It doesn't. I mean, I know it sounds like, oh, well, as long as you always write the highest price, you're always going to get the house. Well, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes they'll take a different offer. Sometimes they'll like you better. I've had a house where I liked the person better than the other person, the other seller, or the other buyer, and we took their offer instead. And you say, well, you can't do that. I can do whatever I want. This is a free country. Well, it was a free country. Now it's strange. But anyway. So that was the first house. And then what we did with that particular buyer, we went to another house. And let's just play with some numbers. Let's say the first house was asking $300,000. And let's just say it needed $60,000 worth of work. So all in at $360,000, okay? And let's just say that we were bidding up to $300,000. Okay, just for pure. The next house we looked at was, the asking price was like $320,000, but everything was done. You could just move right in. But it also wasn't going to sell for $320,000. It was probably going to sell for what? Probably a lot more than $360,000. It was going to go. It was bad. So it was important to me to show my buyer, look, you know, you buy this house, you're going to need some work, and this is what it's going to cost for a house that doesn't need any work. Relatively, they weren't the exact same house. So what I did there was, you know, which house do you want? And we had looked at 11 houses the day before, which is a lot. Actually, 7 or 8. I don't know. A lot of houses over the last couple of days. Buyer said, I want this house, write an offer on this one. You say, well, John, why don't you write multiple offers on different houses and then you can get a better chance? Well, I don't do that because, number one, if I actually did get 2 or 3 houses at once, we're contractually obligated to buy those houses. And what I've seen happen in some cases is the agent will tell the other buyers that they didn't get the house. They're all mad, and they tell me that I got the house. And then it's like, well, I didn't want the house because I got another house that I think is a better deal for my buyer. And that gets messy, and it hurts your street cred in the business. And you say, well, John, what do you care about your street cred? That's a good point. That's a good point. Rarely does your street cred amongst agents affect your ability to get business. Think about the ramifications of that. Think about the monsters you could be working with and not even know it. It's funny. Anyway, so that's what we did. Now, the story goes on the second house something like this. I'm trying to put it in a way that I don't get, like, I don't want to reveal too much, but the second house, I had sold a house at the beginning of the pandemic. I had represented a buyer, and we bought a house in the subdivision. The house that was currently for sale was about 4 doors down. Okay. When I won the competition, quote unquote, won the buyer's war in 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago. I don't know exactly. It's been a while. Anyway, we won a brutal buyer bidding war between 2 buyers, and we got to let's just say $175,000. We're going to say that. It was a hard fought battle for 175. 2 buyers. Now, understand that was a big deal because now there's normally like 15 to 25 offers on a house on average. Anyway, we won that one. So that person bought that house. The buyer's very happy. Life is going well. What you love to see is somebody happy in their home, honestly. This house that I showed yesterday to a buyer, they were asking over $100,000 more. It was actually $115,000 more. Same house, same design. Maybe a little better features, but that is the really true cost of inflation in the housing market. $100,000, $115,000 more for this house. Seriously. That's the asking price. It's going to go over that. It's going to go over the asking price by, 20. I mean, this is going to destroy the American landscape. Destroy it. Because everything we do is based on a couple things. One, it's based on taxes for property tax, at least in St. Louis. These people will have bought into a neighborhood that was 150, 175, 180. And their property taxes are now going to be assessed at the $300,000 level in 2 years. And in Afton, we voted yes for a property tax increase for the fire department retirement fund. And in 2 years, there's going to be more money going to the schools and everything else than ever before. But you know what? Hey, whatever. I don't want to be too political, but what I'm saying is you've got a serious problem with affordability when you've got people that could barely make it into a $175,000 house, all of a sudden get a property tax assessment on a $300,000 house. That's going to be a problem. Second problem is this. I ran into this on Saturday, and I'm going to try and explain this the best I can in St. Louis. It's kind of hard if you're not from here, but I think it's transferable. Let's just say, okay, I'm going to try and do this, and it's the best I can. Let's just say that you're in a nice community, a nice quote unquote community, meaning the property values are stable, people are investing in their homes, everything's good, okay? But in that community, there's a little section, there's a little part of town that's a little dicey. Okay, a little dicey. I think this is true in most places. And over there, the houses are a lot cheaper, but the neighbors are a little bit more I say rough around the edges, eh? Well, Saturday night, one of my buyers wanted to look at a condo complex in a great community, but on the dicey section. Now, what threw my buyer? Because most people know where the dicey sections are, and most people don't want to be in the dicey sections. One of the first indicators of that is lower property prices. Okay, so let's just say like the nice part of the town is like $200,000 houses, and the not so nice part of town is like 150. Okay, and this kind of holds like the whole time. Like it's just obvious to me. Well, what happens when we have these stupid price increases so that now the crappy part of town is now as expensive or more expensive than the good part of town was? You get people moving into the crappy part of town that don't realize they're in the crappy part of town, and then they're living there to regret it, because that's not the kind of people they are. They're not down on their luck. There's nothing wrong with them. And you say, well, that's not fair. That has to do with economics. It has to do with, I'm just trying to point out to you that we're getting to a situation where when you move in and it's $100,000 neighborhood, okay, that's one kind of person. That's one type of person. When those same houses turn around 2 years later and sell for $300,000, okay, that's a different type of person that's moving into that house. The person that would have bought the house at $100,000 doesn't even exist in the marketplace. They can't even buy a house now. It's over. They're gone. I mean, this is mad. These are massive problems. I looked at a house also on Saturday that was like in a crappy part of town, and they were asking a stupid price for it, and they're going to get multiple offers. Okay, when a year ago, 2 years ago, you would have had a mansion for what you're going to pay for this thing. And I mean, I lament it and I'm sad about it. And you say, well, John, you're an agent, and since the business is so great, you're taking advantage of a hot market. Why should you complain? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't get to take advantage of it. Last year was my worst year ever. I'm not listings heavy. I've got more buyers than I have listings. And most of my sellers are people that are wanting to buy something. And I think I might be one of the only agents anymore that says, hey, let's take a look at this. And does this make any sense under any circumstance? I think most people are just like, get it done. Whatever the price is, get it done. And I'm always like, I mean, I'll try it. I'm going to try and do this. I got to scratch okay. I lived through the 2007 crisis, housing crisis. And the people that I'm representing now, okay, trying to buy homes or trying to sell homes, if you look at the house that they're in currently, okay, they're not using that agent anymore from 2007. Do you know why? It's because that agent isn't in the business anymore. Why isn't that agent in the business anymore? Well, they were looking for something in real estate that they didn't find. And so they were more than happy to cross their buyers right away. Screw you. This is all about me. I don't run that way. Mine's always, hey, buyers and sellers, you're more important than my deal. And so it's reflected in the type, it's reflected a couple ways. One, in the type of client that I have. I mean, if you do not refer me and we've worked together, it's like you hate your friends. Like seriously, or your family, you hate them. You clearly don't want them to get good real estate service. You don't. Or two, you don't realize the service that I'm bringing. You don't feel that what I have, my knowledge, is valuable enough to tell your friends. So that's why I struggled, because a lot of people were like entering the business and, oh, my cousin's in the business now, I'll just use them. Oh, my son's in the business, I'll just use them now. Oh, my daughter. And do I blame anybody for using their family members or like one guy I lost out on a purchase because he married his girlfriend and her mom was a real estate agent. Now, was I getting that listing? No. So do I get upset about it? No. It's the way it is. It sucks. Believe me, it sucks, but I get it. So anyway, we're going to see repercussions. And I don't think that anyone knows what those repercussions are for these ridiculously high prices. Let me drink. I'm thirsty. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys are on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. The business account mostly. But anytime somebody says anything about like the future, there'll be 17 comments about like, oh, you're wrong. Oh, you're an idiot. Oh, and one of the ones that I see frequently in this space is we can kind of extrapolate this too. One of the things I see in this space is many people will say the housing market is getting ready to just eat it. Okay. And then you'll see people write, first of all, you'll have some people say the housing market is just like it was in 2007. And then you'll have other people immediately say, no, it wasn't. No, we had a glut of housing available. And a lot of times what they're doing is using like after the crash to show the glut of housing. It's weird. But the argument is that there's so much less supply that's going to keep prices high. I don't know about that. But where you need to be concerned, in my opinion, is look. I just took apart a pen. Like, can you see? I was nervous. Where you need to be worried about that is when, how do I put this? We don't know. We don't know. And to say something is just like another part of time, that's fine, but it may not, it's not the same. It's never the same. Like, I feel like that's one of the problems that we have is like, we didn't have a war with Russia and Ukraine going on the last time. We did have commodity inflation. I can remember copper was just through the roof. But be careful when you compare things to another time in history and expect the same result. The exact same result. That's what I'm saying. I don't want you to get, I don't know. Now I'm putting the pen together wrong. Oh well. Anyway, try to understand that like we don't know what's going to happen in the market. What we can do with our buyers, this is terrible. Here's what we can do. If you're representing buyers, what you can do is this. You can have them buy houses that stand the test of time. You say, what do you mean about that? Well, if you buy a house that's already fixed up, okay, and you pay a little bit of a premium, that's okay. Because, the worst thing that happens is you live in a nice house. If you buy a house at the top of the market and it's a fix, you need to fix everything. You're not going to be as like if the house price, if the value drops like $60,000, you're not going to get all excited about redoing the bathroom and the kitchen because you're underwater. You're already underwater. And so you have no reason, you have no incentive to fix anything up other than you like it. And that very rarely moves property improvements. But also, what do people want? They want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with more than 1,000 square feet, preferably a garage and preferably a basement. That's what they want in St. Louis. Okay, that house, you need that. Make sure you buy that house in this time, because should things go south, there's always going to be somebody that wants to buy the 3-bedroom, 2-bath home that's more than 1,000 square feet. I mean, that's just the way it is. So don't go and buy a 2-bedroom home that's 500 square feet for $200,000 in this market because that's the only thing you can afford. Because that thing is going to be tough to turn. This is just my advice. You do whatever you want to. I'm sure you've got good real estate people wherever you are. Okay, so I've talked enough. I have more I could talk about, but I don't want to. I'm gonna kind of go through the show. But thanks for coming along with me. I'm sorry that the pen took away my attention for a moment. Let's get to our Google search trends, and this is a fascinating one. Okay, you ready? You know that I love Elon Musk. I mean, I don't love him I don't love him, but I just, his ability to control the headlines in a oversaturated space is just impressive. And so, what did he do now that made me just marvel? Last week, everyone was a Twitter, and I did that on purpose, about him purchasing shares in Twitter. And then immediately, maybe the next day, they announced that he was going to join the board. And I was like, wow. And many people thought that there were two schools of thought. One was he's not going to do anything. He just bought it to increase his wealth. Now, I don't know about that. The guy's a multi-billionaire. So I don't know about that. Now, second part of that is they say he's just doing it. He's not going to really fix Twitter. He's just doing that, to put his name out there. Well, okay. But then let's get into this story, because this was amazing. And the way the story goes kind of outlines how wild it was. So it says Elon Musk has decided not to join Twitter's board. The company said on Sunday, less than a week after the billionaire Tesla CEO disclosed that he is the social media company's largest shareholder and was offered a seat. So the whole news last week, like, he dominated the headlines. This is a guy that builds spaceships and electric cars. I mean, it's really impressive that it's like nothing I've ever seen, and maybe I'm never going to see it again. Okay. Musk's appointment was set to become official on Saturday, but he told Twitter that morning that he would not join. The Twitter CEO, Parag Agrawal, tweeted late on Sunday. Agrawal did not say whether Musk had given a reason for the reversal. He noted that the board appointment was contingent on the background check, as well as a formal acceptance by Musk. Now, one of the most hilarious things to ever be put out there was the board appointment was contingent on a background check. Okay. Do you know how many sick freaks are on boards of public companies? Psychopaths. So this idea that a background check is going to solve that problem. In fact, I think that if they did a background check on many of the people that are on these boards, they would find out that these people should be in jail, that they are a danger to society. So that is freaking crazy. Now, I believe this is for the best. Agrawal said in a note to staff, shared in his tweet, "We have and we will always value input from our shareholders, whether they are on our board or not. Elon is our biggest shareholder, and we will remain open to his input." Then the quote, "There will be distractions ahead, but he urged the staff to tune out the noise. Tune out the noise. Don't worry about it. Like, just because people are saying your platform is dirt, like, you probably shouldn't be getting rid of everyone on the platform every day if you want people to actually be on it. No. Tune all that out and just keep it in your little bubble." So, shortly after Agrawal's announcement, Musk tweeted an emoji of a face with a hand over its mouth. He didn't reply to a request for comment. I love like the first question, do you think Elon Musk is stupid? Okay. And then now you could say he got where he got because of there were government incentives for electric cars, and you can say all these things. You can minimize the guy's accomplishments as much as you want to. Okay. You can say that intelligence doesn't matter with this and all this other stuff and hard work. And he took, just, you can throw this guy under the bus as much as you want to, but he is, to me, like, he can be right and he can be wrong. People are complex. You can have good sides and bad sides. So anyway, he's just really something. Musk becomes increasingly critical of Twitter is the next little headline. It says, the Tesla and SpaceX CEO is a prolific Twitter user, but has also become an increasingly vocal critic of the platform in recent months. He's criticized the way the company enforces its rules about what people cannot say on the platform, suggesting it has failed to adhere to free speech principles, in quotes. And he has asked whether it should make its algorithm open source. Now, I don't think that they would ever do that. And that's fine. But I think that, I think it's funny. I don't think, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter what he does with Twitter. Okay. I mean, he's not, if he goes in there and makes it a free speech platform, it doesn't matter. If it's still the dumpster fire that it is now, it doesn't matter. He got a stock pump for having bought it, and he got the notoriety to where people were talking about him and where people are associating him with, they're associating him with Tesla. They're associating him with SpaceX. It's in the public conscience. It says, after Musk revealed last Monday that he had taken a 9% stake in Twitter and the company invited him to join the board, both he and Agrawal said they looked forward to working together in the company's future. Twitter's shares soared last week following the news of Musk's investment. As part of his agreement to join the board, Musk had promised not to increase his stake to more than 14.9%. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Musk had promised not to increase his stake to more than 14.9%. Now, isn't that odd? Like, I'm already the major shareholder, but I have to agree to not buy more than 15%, essentially. Why? Why would I do that then? Why would I be on the board? Is he going to buy more stock? We don't know. Is he buying more stock now? We don't know. Does it matter? Not really. He's getting his name in the newspaper. What was the newspaper? Musk spent much of Saturday tweeting about Twitter, which just full disclosure, I follow Elon Musk on Twitter. Okay, so please don't. I mean, I am biased in this. Okay. Is Twitter dying? He mused in one tweet, pointing out that some of the most followed users rarely post. That is an odd thing. Like I think he had Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift, and I forgot who else, but they like rarely post. One hadn't posted for like 3 months. He also floated ideas to get rid of ads for paying subscribers. Suggested that the company's San Francisco headquarters be turned into a homeless shelter since no one shows up anyway. Wow. That was a shot, by the way. And ask his followers in a poll, delete the W in Twitter. The possible answers, yes and of course. Now, don't you think that was funny? I know that based on what I've read and based on what I've seen, they say that, like, I think it's only a third of the population has a sense of humor. So that's like 60% of the population that doesn't. So they're not going to find that funny at all. They're not going to chuckle. But man, that was funny. That was funny. I enjoyed it. So anyway, like, I can't tell you, like, if I wanted to be the greatest real estate agent ever, okay, you take a page from Elon Musk and you do it. Now, how do I do that? I'm not the greatest real estate agent ever. I don't even like the public spotlight. So I don't know. But I don't know. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. You have to have some sort of cachet. You have to have something that people start following you in the first place before you can do these ridiculous things. Ridiculous meaning or outstanding or, this is fascinating what he's doing. Just a textbook for anyone that wants to know how to promote something. Now, like, this is not a criticism, but you didn't hear him tweeting during PayPal's time because you couldn't. There was no Twitter. But that's just wild. And I'm like, I know for a fact he knows other billionaires. So if he really wanted, if he really wants to play in this pool, he can. It's amazing. It's amazing. He has what I would call freedom. They call it FU money, which means like you can do whatever you want to because you're not worried about the consequences. He has that. What are you gonna? He's 50 years old. He might be the richest person in the world. Might be. I haven't looked in the last little while. What are you gonna like? What are you gonna do? I mean, these like that Senator Warren came after him for not paying taxes or some bull. I mean, he sent her packing, basically. Like, go away, you crazy woman. And you may say like, oh, it's not right. It's not right. He shouldn't be able to have that much money. I'm not interested in that argument. He is not the only beneficiary of terrible economic policies in the United States. Okay? So don't give me that. It'd be the same argument like, oh, the billionaire that works at Raytheon, shouldn't be able to make money either. Oh, okay. So only certain industries you can exploit the federal government and it's okay. And ones that involve killing is okay, but ones that involve electric cars is not. I mean, just stop. Stop with your inconsistent thinking. Anyway, that's where I'm at on that. Hopefully you enjoyed coming with me. And if not, I'd say change the channel, but there's no one here. So you've already done that. Let's go to luxury houses in Jacksonville. I don't know if I've seen these houses before or not. We're going to just start at the top and we're going to go from there. Like the first one, 114 pictures. There's no way. There's no way. $8,995,000 asking price. Built in 2003, 86 days in the market with a 5-car garage. 10,956 square feet with a 6.38 acre lot. I don't think that's a very beautiful house. Like, I'll be honest with you. It looks like a prison. I mean, I'm not trying to. Now, there's the back and it's better, but it's still like, this is an ugly ass house. Like, this would be reason not to purchase it for me. And also, it's so ugly, and we're 8 pictures in to how ugly it is. What is that about? Okay, here we go. Now we're inside. Is that, I'm just trying to, that's a couch. What is this? Is this a Bitcoin bro? We've already seen the couch. Oh, here's the kitchen. I mean, what possesses someone to build something like this and then to buy it? What is this? Is that what you're trying to get? That's where I'm at. $8 million they're asking for this. John isn't ever going to get this listing. You do have to show some sort of enthusiasm when you go meet the sellers. Like, I'd really like to sell you, but this is just terrible. What are the property details? Oh my God. No. Somebody bought it in 1997, but it was built in 2003. I'm at no. I'm sorry. I don't even care. Let's go to a different house. $4.3 million. 5 bedrooms, 6.5 baths. 8,266 square feet. Now it's just on the thing. You can see the water. Built in 1995, 4-car garage. Let's see the property details. That's always helpful. Oh, not too bad. Let's look at the property history. 2022, listed in February. The spacious and elegant Mediterranean home was custom built by the current owners. A gated entry leads to 2.3 acres of gorgeous landscaping, a clay tennis court, hidden large 4-car garage, swimming pool, and 158 feet on the St. Johns River. The beautiful foyer has a river views and a custom ironwork handrail on the staircase and marble floors. Master suite with 2 walk-in closets, a large bath, sitting area, and executive office are all downstairs, along with a beautiful guest suite with its private entry and an exercise room. The kitchen and family room are expansive and have wonderful pool and river views. Upstairs has a bonus game room and 2 very large en-suite bedrooms next to the rear staircase, and is a fully functional guest apartment with its own kitchen and bath. It's a wonderful floor plan. Okay. I like the fact that it has a guest suite where you can come and go. I like the fact that it's on this river. I didn't know this was a river. It looks like the ocean. I apologize if I misspoke. A big river. I like the style of the house. I like the foyer. I don't really particularly like, I've never liked plants in a house like that aren't in pots. Like, ugh. I apologize. It's my own bias. Just don't like it. Just never have. But now this type of house where it's like got beautiful views, it has to have a lot of windows. You know, I mean, it just has to, because you want to see that view. And the rooms should probably need to be like big and airy. This is cool. This is from the 1990s. The kitchen is small. No complaint. It's small relative to the rest of the house. But big, airy, spacious. Don't put too much stuff everywhere. Some of this art in Jacksonville is pretty terrible. Just gonna say that. Not a criticism. I mean, I guess it is a criticism. It's not a personal criticism. That's my thing. I'm not going to say because you bought it, you're a jerk or not a good person. I'm just going to say like it's. My opinion is that it's ugly. The problem I have with this house is that we're not going to be able to see the guest suite. Like, who knows? But you know, if you're living in this house, okay, and you've lived here a lot of years and now you're moving, where are you moving to? Like a retirement home, or how's that work? And like, how are you you're going to downsize from 8,000 square feet to what? Now this is only $3.7 million, 5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, 8,381 square feet on a 14-acre lot. And this is a weird view of the home. 32 days on the market, 3-car garage built in 1981. Unique when the ordinary won't do. Now we saw that first house that was unique and I couldn't stand it. This elaborate estate home is located in the prestigious Deerwood Country Club. Now look, I am part of Deerwood Realty. Like that's the name of my company. It's because my street that I live on is Deerwood. Anyway, your private gate opens to reveal a winding driveway leading through nature. Now, what difference does it make if it's a winding driveway or a straight driveway? Leading through nature's paradise, secluded from the street by towering trees. This handicap-friendly home boasts, distinctive architecture in a private gated setting. The open-aired atrium with fountain is the focal point of this octagonal home. I can't say that word very well. I did my best. A large coffered ceiling great room with wet bar opens to the pool terrace. Perfect for indoor-outdoor living. Gracious entertaining will be yours in this formal dining room with high coffered ceiling. Now, you use it twice in the same thing. I don't know about that. Chandelier and wood moldings. Hand-carved solid wood doors are evident throughout this well-built home. I don't even understand that. I mean, obviously, it's evident if you're in there. The master suite, I mean, it could also boast solid wood doors. The master suite has a separate dressing area, and a lavish master bath is complete with a separate toilet and bidet room. Oh, a separate bidet room from the toilet? Fascinating. All bedrooms are oversized. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. With built-in cabinetry and private baths. A separate pool home offers living, kitchen, and sleeping space too. All this on a 14-acre double lot close to 295 Mayo Clinic, shopping and dining. Call today for your private tour of this unique estate home. Wheelchair accessible. What do we got? I mean, I think what she's trying to do, and I say she, it says Stacy. No, I did know a Stacy in college that was a fellow, so it's possible. I don't mean to misgender someone, but I think they're trying to show you like, hey, this is what the house looks like. When we go inside, you won't be so confused. I mean, now we're 7 pictures in, 8 pictures in, 9 pictures in. Okay, can we just get to the house? Like, what is this? Like, seriously, you got 44 pictures. We got 14 pictures. We've never made it into the house. How bad is it? How bad is it? Did you see that? That was a real estate agent talking. 18 pictures in, we've never made it into the home. 20. This is amazing. Oh, 23 pictures in. It looks like we might, if we're lucky, get to go in the home. Oh, nope. Nope. We've now got 4 pictures of the front door. Oh my God. This is ridiculous. The house inside has got to be terrible. Oh, we got a pool. Oh my God. This is the worst listing I've ever seen. How ridiculous. How ridiculous. You talk about what's in the house. You never show what's in the house. 3.7 million. So look, let me just see here. This is the level of stupid. The top house right now in Jacksonville is $9 million, and they can show the inside of their house, and you can't at yours. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. Okay, we're moving on. What do you need to know about luxury vinyl plank flooring? Well, tell me. What do I need to know? We're going to run late. I just wanted you to know. It's not something I'm proud of, but that isn't what we're supposed to be talking about either. Here. We have to do something. We're going to do it. We're going to do it this way. We are going to talk about vinyl flooring, okay? But we got to change something real quick because I forgot to press a button. So there. That's going to be the article next. Okay. So I have luxury vinyl flooring in my my basement. And do you know why? It's because it doesn't absorb moisture. And the reason why I like that is because in a basement, it can get moist, even the nicest basements. Okay. And so I have it on the floor so that it doesn't cause mold. I don't like mold. Okay. It's better than carpet. Water gets in the carpet and over the years just gets nasty, mildew and terrible and causes rot and everything else. I don't have that problem. That's why I have luxury vinyl flooring. Now, let me say this. I go into houses every day where the upstairs is full of Pergo. That was fine in 1990. Okay. I don't have any problem with it, but I don't want it in my own home. So I like this product. I am a fan of luxury, and by the way, mine looks much better than all of that. Okay. If you're considering new floors, you have loads of options. Hardwoods are always a go-to, but they do have their downsides, especially if you have kids or animals and are concerned about moisture. If you don't have a ton of money to spend, luxury vinyl plates have risen in popularity for a number of reasons, but are they for you? Find out as we take a look into this flooring trend. Now, I have this in the basement. I have hardwood floors upstairs and tile, but I don't like the tile. I never did. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's a great value. Vinyl flooring gives you the look of hardwood and the durability of laminate for a fraction of the price. No flooring is 100% perfect, but luxury vinyl plank comes in pretty close. Well, I agree with that. It's affordable. Unless you catch a great sale or closeout, you're probably looking at $4 to $5 a square foot or more, which is far less than you can expect to pay for decent wood flooring. You can find more bargain prices for LVP, but the quality may suffer. Typically, these planks are too thin and may crack or lift. I feel like I got a good product. I've had this floor down for 4 or 5 years, I think, and I don't have any sort of weird stress points or anything like that. Beware of bargain brands. If they look a little too good to be true, well, you know the rest of that story. Quality LVP starts at $3 per square foot and goes up to about $7. The mid-price lines are usually a sure bet. You'll get the features you need, like waterproofing and scratch resistance, without paying for unnecessary upgrades. Okay. It's durable. You actually have to work to mess up your vinyl floors. It doesn't scratch or chip, which is why parents of humans and animals love it. I agree with that. It's very durable. It's for the dogs. Seriously, if you have dogs that dribble from their water bowl or maybe leave a puddle of something else here and there, ooh, luxury planks may be for you. They're waterproof, so not only are they great for animal lovers, but also can be used in wet areas like kitchens and bathrooms without fear of warping or discoloration. Now, I do like tile in the bathroom. Always have. I'm sorry. I would not want luxury vinyl flooring in my bathroom, but I can understand the allure. And in the kitchen, I don't particularly like hardwood floors in the kitchen because it is a wet environment. My parents have it, and the finish is kind of like going away. But that might be because of other reasons. But I love it for the basement. For a finished room in the basement, it's just can't be beat. They're simple to take care of. Other than vacuuming or sweeping and washing them with soap and water to keep them clean, there's absolutely no maintenance required. You'll never have to wax, seal, or refinish them like you do with so many other available floor coverings. But you'll want to keep in mind that you can't just use any old cleaner on luxury tile floors. Say a sad farewell to your Swiffer wet jet. Many floor cleaners can dull the finish on vinyl floors, so be careful what you choose. We recommend Rejuvenate Luxury Vinyl Floor Cleaner. Yeah. Luckily, I don't clean the floor very often. They can be slippery. Now, I have not experienced this myself. The one thing to watch out for when you're choosing luxury vinyl plank floors is the texture. The newest products are designed to fool the eye into thinking that you're looking at textured wood product, but the foot feel may feel different from the appearance. If you're purchasing in person, it pays to take out one of the planks and put it on the floor so that you can walk on it. You don't want to make the mistake we made and go too slick, or you'll be watching your dogs play slip. It's like, well, I didn't make that mistake, so I'm not worried about it. It says the installation is easy. You have to know what you're doing when it comes to laying a wooden or tile floor. There's very, very little room for error, and in general, it's not something a novice should be doing. Vinyl flooring, on the other hand, is much easier. I did a pretty good job. I put in all the flooring down in the basement. I missed one spot, and I don't really feel like I missed as much as it said that you needed to have about a ½ space between the floor and the wall for expansion. And when you come down the basement, I have a tendency, I have a child that tends to jump, and then it slides the floor. And so it slid the floor about a ½ inch. And so now I have a space at my staircase, which I hate. I will fix it someday. I've just got so much going on. What I have to do is I have to take the molding off of the wall, move the flooring, with some pressure, and then put everything back. And I'll be honest with you, it's just not something that's at the top of my list of things to do. If I were selling the home when I do it, yes, absolutely. But I'm not doing it right now. Another thing people love about LVP is it can float over other types of flooring. If you've been holding off on upgrading your floors because of the thought of demo is not delightful, this might be for you. The trick is proper preparation. Now, I personally love demolition. I don't particularly like to put things back. Whether you're installing your LVT and LVP over concrete, vinyl, wood, or ceramic tile, your no floor will perform as well as how you prepare the surface below. That preparation must provide a level, smooth, and dry surface on which to install your new LVT and LVP. Its soft vinyl is so much softer than tile and hardwood. That back pain you've been dealing with after spending time at the sink or the stove might be gone for good. That's a reason enough to take the plunge. Okay. I think that was a pretty fair article. People will ask me as an agent, hey, John, what do you recommend for this area? Or we'll walk through a house where we're in the basement and it smells like mold and mildew, and I'll be like, this could have been solved if we just used the right product. People don't listen to me. I'll tell them, but they don't listen to me. Now, next article, this is the one about the millennials. And I don't want to criticize, okay? I don't want to criticize, but I don't care about millennials. I care about the entire population. And I know that we have this tendency to always classify people a certain way, but it's gotten out of hand. I don't want to play this game. So let's see what they say, and then we'll just go from there. It says the key highlights I don't know. Let's do it this way. I don't even want to do the key highlights. Let's just go through the article. It says the share of millennial home buyers increased significantly over the past year. They are also the most likely generation to use the internet to find the home they ultimately purchase and most likely to use a real estate agent. Okay, well, I mean, who doesn't use the internet to find a home? 2022. This is according to the latest study from the National Association of Realtors. The 2022 Home Buyer and Seller Generational Trends Report, which has examined similarities and differences between recent home buyers and sellers across generations. The National Association report found that the combined share of younger millennial 21 to 30-year-olds and older millennial buyers 32 to 41 years old rose up to 43% in 2021, up from 37% the year prior. Almost 2 out of 3 younger millennials found the home that they ultimately purchased on the internet, a number that gradually decreases with older generations. 87% of all buyers purchased their home through an agent. This number was highest with younger millennials and older millennials. If you're going to buy a house, get an agent. That's like obvious. And try not to get a terrible one. Some young adults have used the pandemic to their financial advantage by paying down debt and cutting the cost of rent by moving in with family. They are now jumping headfirst into home ownership. That's dicey. That is a dicey claim. While young buyers use new tech tools, they also use real estate agents at higher rates than other buyers to help them find the right home and negotiate the terms of transactions. Right now, we're not doing a lot of negotiating. You want to buy a house? Here, seller, please take this. We have no contingencies. Just take the house. Buyers from all generations agreed about the top reasons for using an agent. They wanted help finding the right home purchase, negotiation of the terms of the sale, negotiating the price. The silent generation, those between the age of 76 and 96, as well as younger millennials, were also more likely to want their agent's help with their paperwork. Those between the ages of 42 and 56, I'm 44, had the highest median household income at $125. They bought the most expensive and second largest homes at the median price of $320 and the size of 2,300 square feet, respectively. Older millennials purchased the largest homes at 2,400 square feet, and the silent generation bought the smallest at 1,800 square feet. Across all generations, the largest share of buyers purchased in suburban areas and small towns. Not surprisingly, younger generations typically upgraded in size and price, while older generations purchased more affordable properties. That's tough. What's a more affordable property right now? The majority of all generations bought single-family homes at a higher shares than the other housing types, and younger buyers dispel the myth that they are flocking to city centers. When it comes to location, the suburbs and small towns are the places to buy. That's what they said. I didn't say a word. 3 out of 5 recent buyers were married couples. 19% were single females. Sorry about that mispronunciation. 9% were single males and 9% were unmarried couples. The highest share of unmarried couples were younger millennials at 21%. Single female buyers significantly outnumbered single male buyers across all generations. The highest percentage of single female buyers was in the silent generation at 27%. The study also found that the first-time home buying among young... I don't like people being called the silent generation. This is the first I've heard of it in 2022. Is that just they're not baby boomers anymore? Is that a bad word? I don't know. I just have never heard the silent generation. If it's the people that I'm thinking of, they're not silent. They were pretty... Anyway. The study also found that first-time home buying among younger generations is on the rise, with 4 out of 5 younger millennial home buyers, 81%, purchasing for the first time. Just under half of older millennial buyers were first-time home buyers. Like, honestly, the first-time home buyer thing is a little bit sketchy. Like, say you get married, okay, and you buy a house, all right, and you get divorced. Now you go buy a house. You're a first-time home buyer. Like, what sense does that make? Many factors can contribute to the decision to buy or sell a home. For all home buyers under the age of 57, the main driver was the desire to own a home of their own. Among those 57 and older, the desire to be closer to friends and family was the top reason, followed by desire for a smaller home. Yeah, one of the weird things, like, I'll just put this story out there because I think it's the first time I said it. My grandparents, they had enough money to like live comfortably, and so they lived in the same house for like 40 years, okay? And they were good. They were good friends with another couple, and that couple lived close to them, and they had a great time for years. Well, that family, husband and wife, decided to buy a brand new home in Lake St. Louis, which at the time was maybe a half-hour drive or longer away from where my grandparents lived. And as much as they loved those people, they weren't, I mean, they're like in their 70s. They're not driving out to Lake St. Louis just to see their friends because they can't be out at night. I mean, they don't want to be out driving at night, and they don't want to, they had to take an interstate, and they were scared to death of that. So it just didn't work out. And that was sad that some of their best friends moved away, and they weren't, and they, you know, it wasn't mean. It's just they weren't able to hang out with their like peer group. They're people that they really enjoyed hanging out with. All for a real estate choice that was suspect. I mean, you could buy a very expensive home in South County. You don't have to go all the way out to Lake St. Louis. And by the way, if anyone's in Lake St. Louis and wants me to list their home for sale, I'm happy to do it. My point wasn't to rip Lake St. Louis. My point was just that, boy, when you're a little bit older, you kind of want to be next to your friends or a little closer to your friends. And then this happened, and it really just kind of highlighted why that's not a great plan. Younger generations tend to move shorter distance when relocating. Among all ages, there was a median of 15 miles from the homes where recent buyers previously resided and the homes they purchased. The distance was lower among younger millennials and highest among older boomers, but that's a doesn't matter stat to me. Overall, buyers expected to live in their homes 12 years, down from 15 years last year. For younger millennials and the silent generation, which I guess are boomers, but we're not going to call them boomers anymore. Well, now here it is. The expected duration was only 10 years compared with 20 years for younger boomers. I don't even know what we're talking. I don't even know who we're splitting up at this point. Debt continues to be a significant barrier for many when attempting to buy a home. Both Generation X and younger boomers delayed purchasing a home for 5 years due to debt, the longest of all age groups. Younger millennials had the highest share of student debt with a median income of $28,000. I hope it's not that low. That's terrible. 27% of younger millennials cited that saving for a down payment was the most challenging step in the home buying process, compared to just 1% for older boomers. Nearly 1 in 3 of younger millennials received down payment help in the form of a gift or a loan from a friend or relative, and 24% lived with family or friends directing savings on rental costs. I have a kid at the house. He doesn't save for a new home. He spends it on gaming, and it's not great. It's not great. He needs to get going. He needs to get going. That's bad. Originally, at like age 24, 25, the thought was, hey, go stay here, save money, and then get a home. And that didn't happen. It was not save money. It was spend money on stupid things. And now it's like dicey. Despite this hurdle, a vast majority of buyers, and I think this, by the way, I don't think that that's unique to my house. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to, I mean, it's obvious that was a bad strategy. Despite this hurdle, a vast majority of buyers have a positive outlook on home ownership. I think everyone would like to think highly of home ownership. It's just right now it's very hard to get in this market. 86% of all buyers reported they viewed a home purchase as a good investment, and roughly 9 out of 10 people said they would recommend their agent for future services. Well, that's the problem. You have to get the person in the first place, and then you have to hope that they're not like relatives with an agent, because then you're not going to get that one. A truth across all generations is that home ownership is seen as a cornerstone of the American dream, said NAR President Leslie Ruda Smith, a realtor from Plano, Texas, and a broker associate at Dave Perry Miller Real Estate in Dallas. From building personal wealth and fostering communities to strengthening social stability and driving the national economy, the value of home ownership is indisputable. Home buyers continue to turn to realtors, itchy nose, is a trusted source for helping find the right home and successfully navigating this increasingly complex process. National Association of Realtors is the largest trade association, representing more than 1.5 million members across all aspects of the residential and commercial real estate industries. I don't know. Was that enlightening? Did that help in any way? I don't know. Sometimes people need to have something to write about. Like if you're a real estate organization, you need to write about real estate, and sometimes the ideas just don't get there, so you just pull something from a report. It's like people want to buy homes. Like I could have written it like that. Sometimes it's hard. I mean, I did it in 2 sentences. By the way, I got to shave today. This is ridiculous. Okay. What did we learn today? I don't know. Luxury vinyl flooring was high. Kind of the day-to-day of the real estate agent here in St. Louis is pretty high on the list of things. Luxury homes in Jacksonville, Florida. We took a look at those. Some of them were pretty bad. 2 of the 3 were terrible. Pretty disappointing. With that, I'm running late, and you guys have been here for a long time. Oh, wait a minute. There's no one here. Anyway, someday, right? Someday. And I know you guys watch the replay years down the road. So if you are, just know that it's 4/11/2022. It'll be April 11th. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow, 9:00. Be there. Hit the wrong button.